here on Cemetery Whispering channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like, until I promise you won't fall asleep tonight.
Blood question. Harry Potter and the Dark Lord, Mudblood or Pureblood wizards? The question of purity in the world of Harry Potter is an interesting subject. On the one hand, judging by the Slytherin faculty, there are plenty of pureblood wizards in magical Britain. On the other hand, judging by the Sacred 28 list, there aren't that many purebloods. And while everything is clear with Muggleborns, such as Hermione Granger, the question of half-bloods is more acute. Harry Potter, Severus Snape, and even the Dark Lord, are they purebloods or dirty bloods? Shall we discuss? Harry and the Dark Lord cannot be called pureblood wizards in the full sense of the word. Or can they? Author's collage. The question of purebloods. The question of blood purity in Harry's world is quite acute. What's the only Slytherin faculty known for advocating that only hereditary wizards be taught there? In the world of magical Britain, there is even a document about several families, 28 in total, who can boast that in their veins flows exclusively magical blood. But, as we know, there are few wizards in Harry's world, of course, but still slightly more than come from 28 families. So the pureblood approach can probably be simplified by removing from the calculations the idea that purebloods are those who had all relatives who were wizards. After all, even the Malfoys had Muggles in their lineage. Then, most likely, we should only look at the line of closest relatives. But then the question arises, from which tribe to look? Would only mom and dad, whose genes created the sorcerer, suffice? Or do we need at least more grandparents? If you look at the first, it turns out that Harry Potter is a purebred wizard, because both of his parents went to Hogwarts and were witches. If you look at the second one, he is a half-blood, because although his father was a true hereditary wizard, his mother was a Muggleborn, and carried the recessive Muggle gene. But Harry's children were already pure-blooded wizards, because not only their parents, but also their grandparents were wizards. All half-bloods, after all. As for Tom Riddle or Severus Snape, alas, it's one-sided. Alas for both of them, because they did not like their Muggle fathers. And they supported the idea of pure blood in every possible way. They were not Muggleborn, because their mothers were witches, but they were half-bloods, because of their fathers. And so pure magical blood was, alas, out of the question. Which is ironic enough, considering that Potter, who is hated by both of them, for different reasons, looks nobler by blood. However, Harry himself isn't a pureblood anyway. Why not? Because that's what canon tells us, in the person of the world's most knowledgeable wizard, Albus Dumbledore. He chose the boy he thought was most dangerous for him, Dumbledore said. And mind you, not a pure-blooded wizard, though the others, according to his principles, are not worth paying attention to at all, but a half-blood, like himself. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So it turns out that purity is looked at the very least, by grandchildren. Or great-grandchildren? What do you think? Can Harry, despite what Dumbledore says, be considered a pure-blood wizard or not? And by the way, what do you think a pure-blood wizard gets besides bravado? Maybe some stronger abilities to magic? Write your thoughts on this in the comments.